Well, hello there, guys. This is Darth Christensen, and welcome back to another Star Wars video. And today, I'm finally going to be doing a Star Wars tier list on this channel, and I'm going to be ranking every single Star Wars movie and series that we've had come out, all the way up to Tales of the Underworld, which is the newest show that just came out. Now, now just like other tier lists, I'm going to be going through every single movie and show, giving my opinion on each, and then I'll decide where to rank them from S tier, or meaning that and it's the best. It's like peak Star Wars, and nothing can top it. And then an F tier, meaning that it's the absolute worst, and it's dog shit, and it's completely disgrace to George Lucas's legacy. But yeah, that's basically how it is. And you guys know that Revenge of the Sith is locked in S tier, so there's a little bit of a spoiler there. But yeah, so let's pull up this list right here, and we have all the movies and shows lined up here. They're not in any particular order. I just wanted to have a completely random order, or instead of just going from like chronological to release order. But that's basically how it is. Now, just a disclaimer, I haven't seen Visions or Resistance, so I'm basically just going to be they're not going to be included. They're not going to be included, and I don't really plan to watch those either. But yeah, anyways, and I even gave some quotes to each of the tiers. So let's go through them. S tier, as said by Qui-Gon Jinn. He is the chosen one. You must see it. A tier, as said by Anakin at the very beginning of Revenge of the Sith. This is where the fun begins. And B tier, or as said by Palpatine in the Phantom Menace. A surprise, to be sure, but a welcome one. C tier, as said by Lando and Solo. I don't like it. I don't agree with it, but I can accept it. D tier, or as said by Qui-Gon again. The ability to speak doesn't make you intelligent. And F tier. Yes. Just wanted to get more creative with the tiers so I can attach Star Wars quotes to it. But anyways, without further ado, let's rank every single Star Wars movie and show, and let's piss some people off. starting up very strong with the Clone Wars show. This is obviously S tier because the Clone Wars adds so much depth to the prequels, the prequels were already amazing movies, don't get me wrong. But I have to agree with a lot of people that it adds a lot of depth to Anakin's fall, with how it explores how he actually is the chosen one via the Mortis arc, of how he's able to like tap into his full potential with the Force, and how he can control both the son and daughter. Like, Mortis is easily one of my all-time favorite arcs from this show, and there's also lots of other amazing banger arcs that make this top tier Star Wars. Like Darth Maul returns. I think after Maul came back in the show, he became one of the best characters of all time. And Sam Witwer's just an amazing actor. He played Maul, Starkiller, the Son, and Palpatine all at the same time. Like he's a GOAT voice actor. Mortis, obviously. Ahsoka leaving the Jedi Order after Barriss framed her, but then Anakin arrested Barriss, and Anakin stood by her the entire time, even when no one else did. And also Fives' Order 66 conspiracy arc, when he learns about the inhibitor chips, but then and Fox shoots with Fives, and his death is super sad. Damn, that shit hits so hard. Or F in the chat for 5. But yeah, the Clone Wars is just so amazing, and I can go on and on about how good it is. But yeah, it's S tier all the way, and it's peak Star Wars. Next up, Attack of the Clones. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Attack of the Clones is also S tier. I fucking love this movie, man. This is easily the most underrated Star Wars movie, and people sleep on just how important it is. Like, this actually shows the very first time Anakin actually tapped into the dark side, when he absolutely lost his shit, killing all the Tusken Raiders after they killed Shmi. That was like the thing that actually birthed Darth Vader inside of Anakin, and it started him down this path of darkness. And his relationship with Padme is super well done too, because like it shows how he's bound by the chains of the Jedi Order, or her not forbidding it in love and attachments. But when he sees Padme, that's one of the many things that starts his descent into Darth Vader. And it's just such an amazing, beautiful story. And not just with and outside of Anakin's story, there's also lots of other cool stuff in this movie. Like it has such amazing world building with more of Coruscant, and also has really cool. It also has a really cool plot line of Obi-Wan discovering all the clones on Kamino, and you also ultimately learn that Sifo-Dyas was tricked by Dooku and Palpatine into ordering a clone army, and that's just such an amazing storyline to get into. And Battle of Geonosis is easily my favorite ground battle in all of Star Wars. Like, the whole army of Jedi and the clones just going at the Separatists in the middle of a dust storm just always goes super hard. And obviously, Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Yoda all fighting Dooku at the very end of the movie is a very pretty sick and underrated lightsaber fight too. Especially when Anakin's fighting Dooku in the dark with their lightsabers reflecting off of their face. It's such a cool fight scene. But yeah, Attack of the Clone Attack of the Clones is easily the most slept on Star Wars movie, and I love it so much. Obviously I know that Revenge of the Sith is better, but Attack of the Clones is honestly my personal comfort Star Wars movie. I rewatched this as just as many times as all the other six movies. But yeah, Attack of the Clones is amazing. As Padme said, I truly deeply love you. Next up, we have the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Oh, and I think this is where I'm going to start her to piss people off, because I know a lot of people just fucking despise this show for some reason. Now, I get that Reva wasn't really that. I get that Reva was not a great character, because she has kind of felt like a carbon copy of Trilla from Jedi Fallen Order, who was a vengeful Inquisitor who got killed by Darth Vader. And I do agree that Vader should have killed Reva. Vader did stab Reva, but she didn't die after that. So I agree that she should have died after that. But other than that, I actually really like Kenobi. I just rewatched it recently, and I really liked it. So I'm gonna give Kenobi like an B tier. No, I have so much nostalgia bias for the prequels, by the way. So I think I'm actually gonna throw Kenobi in A tier. Or Kenobi has a really good storytelling. Has lots of pretty good storytelling with how it shows Obi-Wan dealing with his depression, and how little Leia is one of the things. Little Leia being included was one of the things that helped him regain himself, being the Jedi he used to be. And then you see Obi-Wan and coming to terms with how he couldn't save Anakin when he comes face to face with Vader. And obviously, and by the way, Vader in this show was just so fucking badass. Like that part when Vader is force choking random villagers and he's snapping kids' neck. I was like, whoa, holy shit! It's like he's in the youngling killing business. That's super cool. And then obviously Vader pulling down that ship like Starkiller, and then he also he drags Obi-Wan through some hot coals as a way to get revenge for him and what he did to Mustafar. Oh my god, it's so good. That's like peak Vader right there. And Vader and Obi-Wan's final duel was also really good. Is also really good because it gave us the iconic moment of Obi-Wan, Vader's mask being cut open, and he says that you didn't kill Anakin Skywalker, I did. And that's a really complex thing. And that's a really complex thing of how Vader treated Anakin, and is as Anakin treated Vader as a separate personality, because he couldn't accept the fact that he was the one who killed Padme. But yeah, Kenobi is a really underrated show, and I think people blow the flaws of the show way out of proportion. Who cares if there's a couple shitty looking Leia chase scenes, or if Reva's a bad character? You're seriously gonna let that overshadow Hayden and Ewan coming back? Bro, you cannot tell me with a straight face that you who think Obi-Wan and Vader coming back to fight is trash. But yeah, that's basically just my little side rant and about how people treat this show. Oh, and basically how people will view other Star Wars shows as well. But Kenobi is very underrated, and it deserves more credit than it gets, because it gave us the prequel reunion that we all always wanted. So I'm gonna put in an A tier for that. Now I know that Ahsoka did a much better job of utilizing Hayden with all the Clone Wars flashbacks, but I still got to give Obi-Wan credit for bringing back Hayden, and he was super cool in the Vader suit, and also in that flashback to Attack of the Clones, to before Attack of the Clones, was when he was training with Obi-Wan. That was really cool. So yeah, Kenobi's A tier. I like it a lot. Next up, A New Hope. This is going to be another A tier. A New Hope's going to be another A tier. This is obviously the movie that started it all. This is the movie that has started it all. So obviously it's a really classic movie, and it's the one that shaped Star Wars as we know it today. And hearing all the facts about Roger Christian about how he designed the lightsabers and the other sets and props for this movie, it made it even more special. Now it is of course a really good movie, but out of all six of the original Star Wars movies, I think A New Hope's probably the one that I've rewatched the least. And I think that might be a bit of a hot take, but I've just rewatched some of the other movies even more. But yeah, but still, A New Hope's a classic. A New Hope's a classic, and it's timeless, and it's the one that created Star Wars. So obviously, it's A tier. Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith. Do I even have to say anymore? Bam! Revenge of the Sith is easily S tier. Oh my god, this movie's so perfect. It's literally the peak of all Star Wars, in my opinion. Oh my god, it's so good. It's perfect. Revenge of the Sith is literally the thing that got me into Star Wars. Whereas when I first watched it on DVD in 2007, and it's just such a beautiful, timeless masterpiece. Like the whole track. This is like the movie that brings Anakin's fall to the dark side full circle, and you actually like see his descent into Vader being completed, and you see all throughout the movie of how Anakin's slowly losing trust in the Jedi Council. How Anakin's slowly losing trust in the Jedi Council, and how he's like, can I edit this shit out? And you see how Anakin's like slowly losing trust in the Jedi Council, and how he's also losing faith in Obi-Wan, and through all of Palpatine's lies and deception, and also Palpatine telling Anakin the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise is also a super iconic monologue. I mean, like, there's so many iconic top tier monologues and lines and things in this whole movie, especially like "Hello there" or "You underestimate my power." Like, Revenge of the Sith is so perfect. I can go on and on about how good it is, and also Anakin and Obi-Wan's fight on Mustafar is literally not only the best lightsaber fight in all of Star Wars, but it's also one of the best sword fights in cinema. Period. Like, it's such a beautiful scene where it's like they're firing on all cylinders. Like, the Nick Giller's lightsaber choreography is top tier, and then you also see like the visual storytelling of Mustafar being a lava planet, of how Obi-Wan and Anakin's relationship is burning is falling and collapsing into flames, and John Williams' scores. Chef's fucking kiss. John Williams will always make a banger score, even for bad movies like the sequels. But Revenge of the Sith is literally where John Williams' scores peaked, and it's also where George's storytelling peaked as well. It's like Revenge of the Sith is such the perfect Star Wars or story, and it literally is the first thing that comes to mind when I think about Star Wars. And Revenge of the Sith is just the perfect full circle movie that brings Anakin's turn into Darth Vader. That makes Anakin's turn to Darth Vader such an amazing Shakespearean tragedy, and it's just such an amazing movie. I can't really say any more about it. Thank you, George, for giving us this masterpiece. Also, look at that poster. That poster is so badass. Anyways, moving on. Next up, we have the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars. This show is really good. I'm gonna put it in the A tier, though. I don't think it's as good as the Dave Filoni Clone Wars, but I think the Genndy Clone Wars is still pretty solid. It shows us like Anakin fighting Ventress on Yavin 4. That's a really cool fight scene, and then General Grievous is really badass in this show too. It's a really good show, not as good as Dave Filoni Clone Wars, but I can rewatch it. It's A tier. Next up, The Mandalorian. Now, obviously, Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2 are really good. Season 3 was kind of but I don't think that takes away from Mando to season 1 and 2's greatness. So I'm gonna put Mando in A tier, behind Genndy's Clone Wars, but ahead of Obi-Wan. And Mandalorian was actually the thing that kind of got me back into Star Wars back in 2019, and it's just a really good show. Because season 1 is like a nice introductory stage of Mando protecting Grogu, and then season 2 was like top tier content. It brings Bo-Katan back. It brings Ahsoka into live action for the first time. It brings Boba Fett back, and it also brings the real Luke Skywalker that we always deserve in the sequels back. Season 2 was just so perfect. Season 3, I wasn't really a fan of how the story he went with, how they destroyed the Darksaber. Everyone basically just made Grogu go back with Mando, but that's more of Book of Boba Fett's fault. But other than season 3, I think Mandalorian's still a really solid show that does a lot for Star Wars. And I am looking forward to the Mandalorian Grogu movie, but we'll see how it goes. Next up, The Bad Batch. I'm gonna put Bad Batch in B tier. It's a good show. I like how they show all the clones after Order 66, but there are a few slow episodes that kind of bring it down on a few pegs, especially in season 2. But Bad Batch is still a pretty good show, so it's B tier. Next up, Tales of the Jedi. Whoa, that is definitely A tier. It would be S tier if the episodes were longer, but still, showing Count Dooku's fall to the dark side on screen for the first time at last was just insane. I love how it just tied into the Phantom Menace so perfectly, and especially how Dooku deleted Kamino from the Jedi archives, and they name dropped Sifo Dyas a lot. That was just such a cool thing to find out. And then Ahsoka's episodes were really good too, of how she was at Padme's funeral after Revenge of the Sith, and then she fucking murked an Inquisitor after that. And that was really cool. But yeah, Tales of a Jedi was a banger, and Tales of a Jedi was a banger, and I really hope they make more Tales of shows like Tales of the Sith and Tales of Bounty Hunters. Next up, we got Tales of the Empire, which is like the dark side version. Tales of the Empire, I'm a bit mixed on. Like there's some really cool stuff in it. Like I like Morgan Elsbeth's arc, but I really don't like Barris's arc. Like the ending was so shitty of how like a different Inquisitor killed Barris instead of Vader. Like I wasn't really a fan of that. But Morgan's arc was a lot better, and her since it like showed how she survived the massacre of Dathomir, and like General Grievous was just a fucking monster, which was awesome. And it showed how she met Thrawn and started working with him and leading into the events of Ahsoka. So I think I'm probably going to need a Tales of the Empire because half of it's good and the other half's eh. So maybe Tales of the Empire C tier. C tier. Like it's not bad or anything, but it's also a huge step down from Tales of the Jedi. So that's where I'm going to have it. Book of Boba Fett. Book of Boba Fett's definitely C tier. Um, I wasn't really a fan of how they made Book of Boba Fett, how they made Boba Fett a pussy, in comparison to how he was in the Mandalorian season 2. But also I really like the Mando episodes, even though Mando does kind of hijack Boba Fett's show. But I don't really care because it's still really good in Star Wars television, and those Mando and Luke episodes were still really good with how they showed like Luke training Grogu, and then also like Mando getting the Darksaber, and like Luke and Ahsoka talking about Grogu. That was pretty cool. But since I recognize that the other half is kind of slow, I'm gonna have to put Book of Boba Fett in C tier. I think it's just the definition of okay. Next up, Ahsoka. Yes, that's bro. I have Ahsoka in S tier, dude. Ahsoka is easily my favorite live action Star Wars show because it's everything I love about Star Wars rolled into one. Like it's the perfect sequel to Rebels, but it's also like a true, genuine continuation of Return of the Jedi. Like I love how they show Ahsoka's character development of how she goes with Sabine to find Ezra and Thrawn, and then and getting to see Hayden Christensen coming back as Anakin Skywalker was just the best moment to have been in Star Wars for years. That was just so beautiful to see Anakin's Force spirit and teaching Ahsoka, and I actually do think it's Anakin's real Force ghost because, as he said, I heard that before as a reference to when Luke refused to fight him in Return of the Jedi. But seeing Anakin and coming back, and also seeing like the Clone Wars flashbacks of Hayden wearing Anakin's clone armor, and him with the red lightsaber and Sith eyes, dude, that was fucking amazing. I really wish I started my YouTube channel when I saw that episode, because it was just so awesome to finally see Unburned Vader in his Revenge of the Sith robes, and it's just such an amazing episode, dude. Like Anakin's lesson to Ahsoka, and then also Ahsoka becoming Ahsoka the White was really nice. And I also really liked how all our favorite characters from Rebels were brought into live action. Like I loved how Sabine was done, and I especially loved how Ezra was done. Like Ezra was pulled straight out of animation. You can't convince me otherwise. Iman Esfandi did such a phenomenal job. And then also, not to mention, Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati are easily two of the best new characters introduced in the new Disney canon. Like Baylan in particular has such an amazing character because he has such complex views on how he lost faith in the Jedi Order, or his complex views on the Force kind of reminds me of a darker version of Qui-Gon. And I really can't wait to see where they're going with the Mortis God storyline, and of how Baylan is being called to do by something on Peridea. Maybe it's something related to Abeloth, but we'll see what happens there. But rest in peace, Ray Stevenson. He did such a phenomenal job. I think Rory McCann will definitely do justice, but I can't wait to see the story continue. And then also, you guys know how much I love Shin. She's really hot and she's really badass. And yeah, they're both amazing characters. And then obviously, I also love seeing Ezra and Thrawn coming on him being stranded in a different galaxy. There's so much cool lore and world building in this show. I can just go on and on. Ahsoka is S tier because it just feels so much like George Lucas Star Wars, and it makes sense because Dave Filoni worked with George Lucas on the Clone Wars. But Ahsoka is such an amazing show, and I'm so beyond excited for season 2, dude. Oh my god, like all the footage that they showed at Celebration, of like Hayden coming back as Anakin, Baylan being recast, and also Admiral Akbar is going to be back. I can fight Thrawn like in the books. It's going to be awesome. So yeah, Ahsoka's S tier. Love you, Dave. Next up, we got Tales of the Underworld, the third her Tales of series. It's definitely better than Tales of the Jedi, and it's definitely it's definitely not as good as Tales of the Jedi, but it's also better than Tales of the Empire. So I'm gonna put Tales of the Underworld in B tier. It's a pretty good show. I mean, And I liked how Ventress. I like how they showed Ventress surviving Dark Disciple. The ending was kind of pointless because she didn't actually go off to find Quinlan, but it was still a pretty good arc. Cad Bane's arc was also really good, and also very dark with how he it became a deadbeat dad and got his revenge on his buddy. But yeah, so Tales of the Underworld, Tales of the Underworld was pretty decent, and I think I could rewatch it. It's pretty good. Oh fuck no, not the Acolyte. Here we have our first F tier. Jesus Christ, the Acolyte is just so fucking horrible, and everyone should know it by now. Like the Acolyte was just like the biggest disappointment for me as a Star Wars fan. It legit it pissed me off even more than the shitty sequel movies because it has so much potential to be a cool Sith show set in the High Republic, but we literally have zero Sith at all. They completely wasted Darth Plagueis, I guess, by making him a pervert and a K, which makes no sense to begin with. And also, this show just completely shits all over Star Wars lore by making two twins and as virginses in the Force before Anakin was even born, and that's just abhorrent and so disrespectful to George Lucas's story. It's fucking ridiculous. And also, the Jedi aren't supposed to know that the Sith exist until Qui-Gon encountered Darth Maul on Tatooine. So it's like, how the fuck did this one Sith guy just run around on killing Jedi, but then Soul survives it and he doesn't tell the Council shit about it? Like, and then also, this green lady's just gonna straight up lie to Yoda's face about encountering a Sith. Like, it's just like that's just bullshit. Like, Yoda was able to send as Anakin killing the Tusken Raiders, and he was also able to sense Jedi across the galaxy dying during Order 66. So like, how the fuck did he not sense this Sith guy killing a bunch of different Jedi? So yeah, there was just so much. There was just so much wasted potential with the show, and it was just and the writing, and the respect for lore was just complete shit. So it's like I really do not like this show, and I'm so glad that it got canceled. Worst piece of Star Wars media ever. F tier. Next up, we got Star Wars Rebels. There we go, much better show. Rebels, I think, is actually the S tier because it introduced so much new lore, and also it gave us iconic moments like Ahsoka fighting Vader on Malachor, and then also Obi-Wan fighting Maul on Tatooine and giving a beautiful send-off to Maul's character. And then obviously Kanan Jarrus is a really cool character, and it introduced us to all the characters that we see in Ahsoka. So Rebels is a really good show, and I think it's pretty much on par with Clone Wars. Oh shit. Next up is Andor. This is where I'm definitely going to start losing people. So I haven't really been talking about it a lot recently because it just makes me upset, but I don't really like Andor at all. I mean, it does visually look really good, but other than that, I just think it's just so fucking boring. Like a majority of it is just like dudes in jackets walking around and doing absolutely fucking nothing for 12 episodes straight. And it's just something that I just don't have a good time with. So I'm gonna put Andor in D tier because I don't think it's as bad as The Last Jedi or The Acolyte. But I just personally just don't really like this show at all because it just doesn't feel like Star Wars at all. Well, it's not even with the music. It just feels more like a generic or HBO sci-fi show pretending to be Star Wars. And also the toxicity in the fandom that's been created recently. I mean, if you go look at the comment sections of Star Wars theories videos that he made on Andor, the Glazers just shitting on him for his opinion is just disgusting. Like, this show isn't even close to the best Star Wars of all time. Like, dude, have you even watched anything up here or made by George Lucas and Dave Filoni? Like this is what Star Wars is, not this weird ass HBO corporate slop. And also, Andor stands think that they're better than other people, and they just straight up bully people who don't have the same exact opinion as them. Like, those people have definitely kind of ruined the show for me. So I'm gonna have to put it in D tier. But the reason why I don't think it's as bad as The Last Jedi or The Acolyte is because at least it's visually well done, and I do admit that TIE Fighter scene was cool, but other than that, I just can't do it. It's just a really boring show. Next up, Skeleton Crew. Now, I already forgot to talk about this in my community post. Now, Skeleton Crew, I think I'm going to put this in C tier. I think it's better than Book of Boba Fett. It's an alright show. I mean, it's an okay show. I mean, and not really the show that not really the show that I wanted, but and there are some episodes where not a lot happens, but I do like the Pirate Jedi dude. He was pretty nice. Oh fuck no. Oh, the movie that had the movie that damaged Star Wars forever, The Last Jedi. F, obviously. Like, it's just so disgusting of how they ruined Luke Skywalker, of how they made Luke, of like how they made Luke just a cynical hermit who tries to kill Kylo Ren and who tries to kill Ben Solo in his sleep, even though he's the one that saw the good in Anakin Skywalker and brought Vader back to the light side. It's just such a disservice to Luke's character, and Mark Hamill hated it too. And also, they just wasted so much potential with like Snoke being killed off too early, and then just like Rey having zero character development whatsoever, ever. I mean, a lot of that has ended up being fucked up in The Rise of Skywalker, but this movie is definitely the plane. So yeah, The Last Jedi is easily the worst Star Wars movie, and it just did so much damage to the brand. It's just really bad. F tier. Next up, the Clone Wars movie. The Clone Wars movie is pretty good, and I'm gonna put that in B tier, or because the Clone Wars movie, I know it's not the greatest, but it is. But the Clone Wars movie still does some solid groundwork of setting up everything that happens in the Clone Wars show, which is definitely S tier. So for that reason, I'm gonna put it in B tier. Next up, Return of the Jedi. Yeah, that's dude. Return of the Jedi is easily one of my favorite Star Wars movies. It's definitely S tier. Definitely S tier. Like, it's such a beautiful, loving ending to the entire Star Wars saga of how which shows Anakin and Skywalker's redemption, of how he destroys Palpatine and brings balance to the Force, and like Luke's character development also coming full circle of how he becomes everything that Anakin could have been, and it's just such a beautiful way to cap off a story, and it's also it's just really fun, and also it's just really fun seeing all like the rebels fighting, the rebels like finally winning against the Empire, the Battle of Andor, and I think the Ewoks are pretty cute, and so yeah, Return of the Jedi is a classic, and I think it's one of my favorite Star Wars movies. Next up, Rise of Skywalker. That's definitely D tier. Like Rise of Skywalker is definitely the thing that was like the nail in the coffin for the sequels, because bringing back Palpatine was just such a stupid ass decision, and they just really he didn't know what they were doing, especially with bringing back AJ to write episode 9. Like the whole trilogy was just a complete shit show. None of it made sense, and so yeah, Rise of Skywalker is terrible or horrible, but I do think it is at least a bit better than Last Jedi, because as to give them some credit, I do think they tried their best to try to undo everything that Rian Johnson destroyed, but still they didn't do a good job with it. And it's just like the whole sequels just pissed me off so much with how much his potential was wasted. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that trilogy. Next up, Solo. I actually quite like this movie a lot. I'm gonna give Solo A tier. Like it's so it's a pretty good backstory for Han Solo. Like the actor playing Han Solo, the actor playing a younger Han, and did a fantastic job. And I also love Donald Glover's Lando. Like this is a really fun rewatchable movie. Now there are some problems like with how Han got his name from the Imperial officer. That shit was kind of stupid. But other than that, I quite like this movie. And obviously the Darth Maul cameo at the end, dude, that was insane. Especially since Sam Witwer came back to do the voice, and Ray Park was the one doing the stunts. Like that was amazing. Like that was amazing to see Darth Maul come back, even for her brief cameo. And I think that maybe the new Maul Shadow Lord show will show some what Maul was doing after Solo, or maybe that will actually be the Solo 2 if he can get it. Had Disney not fucked up with release date, making The Last Jedi at first. But yeah, Solo is a really good movie, and I recommend that you watch it. It's pretty good. A tier. Next up is The Force Awakens. I'm actually gonna put Force Awakens has kind of grown on me for a bit, and I'm gonna put it in C tier. Actually, I'm gonna move Tales of the Empire up to B tier, and I think Book of Boba Fett's better. But yeah, The Force Awakens I think is C tier, because even though, regardless of how the rest of the trilogy went, I actually when I last rewatched The Force Awakens, I actually had a good time watching it because I was with other friends. Now I obviously know that it's a really cheap ripoff of A New Hope. Like even Kylo's just like a ripoff of a Vader from the very first scene, and also like BB-8 giving the map to Luke, exactly like R2 giving the map to the Death Star. Like the plans for the Death Star. Like it's definitely a carbon copy of A New Hope, but I still think it's a pretty fun and rewatchable movie. And I think that they set up some interesting plot points in the Force Awakens, but then Rian Johnson just completely fucking destroyed it in The Last Jedi. But yeah, that's my thoughts on The Force Awakens, and just wish that the rest of the trilogy was good. Next up, Rogue One. Now, Rogue One, I'm also a bit torn on because there's lots of cool stuff in the movie, but I also kind of feel like my trust in this movie has been shaken a bit and after the terrible Andor show. But I'm still gonna put Rogue One on in B tier. It's still a pretty good movie. Like I like how they show how they got the Death Star plans, and obviously Vader's hallway scene is just amazing and badass and so iconic. And like just Vader just being an absolute monster slaughtering rebels. It's just such a top tier scene. And also Director Krennic's a pretty cool character. I like the K2SO droid. He's really funny. And also the blind force sensitive guy who says, "I'm one with the force and the force with me." That's pretty dope. But I also feel like the other her main characters aren't really as interesting. And don't even get me started on Cassian. That dude fucking sucks. But I feel like if I can just block Andor out of my mind, I can enjoy Rogue One for what it is because it's a really good movie, especially it's a really good movie, especially with Vader and the Death Star plans, how it leads right into A New Hope. I like it. But it's not the best Star Wars movie. I still think Revenge of the Sith is superior, but yeah, Rogue One's pretty good. B tier. Next up, The Phantom Menace. I'm gonna give this very high A tier. The Phantom Menace is so underrated, dude, because it's so important for how it showed. It's so important for how it showed. It was like the first time Qui-Gon discovered Anakin and everything. How Qui-Gon first discovered and it's like if Qui-Gon didn't die, none of this would have happened. And it's just it's just such an amazing movie with how like it sets up how the plots with the Trade Federation and everything, and how also like Duel of the Fates is obviously a top tier lightsaber fight with and John Williams. That's John Williams' best score. Or it's just such an amazing scene. And then also the pod racing scene is epic with the sound design. Ben Burtt knocked it out of the park. So yeah, The Phantom Menace is a really good movie. And also reading the Darth Plagueis novel of how Plagueis was spying on Palpatine and Maul during the events of this movie really enhanced the experience. So yes, The Phantom Menace is great. I think it's A tier. And then finally, for the things that I've seen, Empire Strikes Back. Obviously S tier. Empire Strikes Back is obviously S tier. Or it's I think it's the second best Star Wars movie right behind Revenge of the Sith. Like it changed and defined cinema with Vader or saying, "No, I am your father." So it's just an amazing, timeless, classic and Empire definitely deserves S tier all the way, especially with how especially with how badass Vader is in this movie. How he's like toying with Luke, and I love the mystical feel of Yoda training Luke on Dagobah. It's just such an amazing movie. I don't really know what else to say. It's S tier. It's good. It's great. And then I haven't seen Visions or Resistance, so I'm not going to watch those. Okay, so that pretty much concludes the Star Wars tier list of everything that I've watched. So let's do a quick recap of everything. So in S tier, meaning that it's peak Star Wars or Wars and some of the best Star Wars content ever is Revenge of the Sith, the 2008 Clone Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, Attack of the Clones, Ahsoka, Star Wars Rebels. Then an A tier, meaning that it's great and it's very fun and rewatchable, is The Phantom Menace, then it's A New Hope, Tales of the Jedi, Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars, The Mandalorian, Obi-Wan, and Han Solo. And in B tier, meaning that it's good, has some flaws, but I can still rewatch it, is The Bad Batch, Rogue One, Tales of the Underworld, the Clone Wars movie, and Tales of the Empire. C tier, meaning that it's okay, hey, but not terrible, is Book of Boba Fett, Skeleton Crew, and The Force Awakens. D tier, meaning that it's bad and it's just really boring, right? But there are a couple of small good things about it. It's The Rise of Skywalker and Andor. And then F tier, meaning that it's just complete shit. It's just complete shit and a disgrace to the Star Wars canon, The Last Jedi, and The Acolyte. But yeah, that's basically my entire Star Wars tier list video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun doing this. So let me know in the comments if I should do more tier lists, and also let me know what your placing things are. How much of my tier list do you agree with? How much do you disagree with? Just as long as you're being respectful, just feel free to share what you disagree with. But yeah, have a good rest of your day. May the Force be with you always. I have brought peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire.